my mum was born on the same day as the Queen. It was something she told everyone she came across. Random strangers she get into conversation with at a bus stop on her way back from Romford Market. Oh, proud of it she was. It's nothing to boast about, my Nan would snap. Oh, Nan was no royalist. No. Hated the Queen Mother, couldn't stand her. All that rubbish about looking the East End in the face when a couple of windows got smashed at Buckingham Palace. She didn't have a bleeding clue. God. I can understand me Nan being bitter though. Yeah. Well, she got bombed out. Came up from the tube station one morning to a pile of rubble where their house had stood the night before. So she moved here to Dagenham, a widow, 5 children, and my mum, Betty, at 12, was her eldest. Mum and Dad met at the Merry Fiddlers on VE night, and they was married on 20th of November 1947, same as the Queen. We both bagged ourselves a handsome sailor, Mum boasted. Well, their wedding was a very modest affair. Oh, yeah, a bit different to what went on at Westminster Abbey that day. Well, my mum wore her older sister's wedding dress. And they had sandwiches, wedding cake at St George's Church Hall, using a month's worth of coupons. Bless. And there were other similarities in their lives too. Well, both women had 4 children, although my mum, she suffered 2 stillbirths and 3 miscarriages. Both their husbands liked sport, and both had an eye for a pretty girl. And each had a son in the Navy. My brother Stephen got sent to the Falklands. He's serving alongside Prince Andrew now, my mum boasted, oblivious to the fact they was on different ships. She'd lived through World War and yet she seemed oblivious to the danger Stephen was in. She just closed her mind to what was happening hundreds and hundreds of miles away. The news of his death on HMS Sheffield nearly destroyed her. Wouldn't eat, talk for days. We tried to coax her out of it, but her grief was too raw. My little prince hasn't come home, she whispered. When she saw the TV news of Prince Andrew throwing his cap up in the air, reunited with his mother. She stopped talking about sharing a birthday with the Queen after that. Never mentioned it again. The Queen was 96 this year, and on that day I took a large bunch of red roses to Eastbrook End Cemetery, Mum's favourite flowers. It was the first thing my dad planted in the garden when they got their own place, a rose bush. Of course, it's not there now. No, the council ripped all the gardens up for parking spaces. was bloody criminal what they did. Bloody criminal. So every year I take Mum roses and I put them in her vase and I give her headstone a bit of a clean. Elizabeth Holloway, 21st April 1926 to 10th January 1988. Yeah, she died at 62. Worn out after a life of worry and hard work. Widowed at 49 after Dad dropped dead from a stroke. Heartbroken. Well, both her husband and her son gone. Of course, if she'd lived a life of privilege, good food, best doctors, waited on hand and foot, my mum could have been on her way to her 100th birthday now. She was a great believer in astrology. Oh yeah, it was her religion. Every day she'd grab the Daily Mirror, turn to the stars pages and read them, while she had her first cuppa of the day. Oh, Dad used to tease her. If this astrology works, why's your life so different from the Queen's? If you was born within minutes of each other, how comes you didn't get the silver spoon? Oh. I've got everything I need, she'd reply, beaming at him. I wouldn't swap with her for all the crown jewels. Oh, no. It's the Queen's 96th year and she's still working, and credit to her for that. I'm sure she'd rather be resting with her feet up and not dealing with red boxes and Boris. Oh, God knows she deserves a rest from that family of hers. Divorces, sex scandals, Diana's death. Well, she had to deal with it all, poor cow. Yeah, I will be raising a glass of wine at the Jubilee later. I will. But I won't just do it for the Queen. I'll raise a glass to all the women of her generation. All the Elizabeths, Bettys, Beths, Lizzies. Well, they were all loved and they're all missed. And, well, they deserve to be remembered. To their families, they were all queens.